Ed Feingold, contributing analyst with TM Forum. I'm here with Sreenivas Peesapati, who is the CEO for Covalensedigital. We're here at TM Forum, DTW Ignite in Copenhagen, 2023. And Srini, it's a pleasure to have you here. We were talking just a minute ago about some of the big themes in the show, and one of them is this continued effort to transform the business, transform the industry to digital, obviously, and also tech-old mindset. It's a struggle. It's going to take time. I'm not sure that anyone should have expected it to go massively faster than it should. I think a lot of other industries, as you work in them, are also struggling to make this change. It's a big move. But the point is that you're here to help people make it happen, right?
Absolutely.
So, let's just talk for a little bit. You think about, in the context of the TM Forum, some of the big changes that are happening. Obviously, OS BSS changing massively. What we traditionally think of, maybe merging as well. The lines start to fade away. So, give me a little bit of an idea of your vision of those changes and how your business is attending to them and reflects them.
Yeah. So, thanks for having me here today. I think at Covalensedigital, actually, so this is our company, and then again, it is a long journey of 2+ decades, and then we have seen the industry transforming from legacy to how digitally it is transforming, and then it is demanding, actually, I think, with the new subscribers, and then with the increased focus on the customer experience, and then again, constant engagement to really retain them. So we have seen a major shift in the whole system, and then with 1,000+ years of our experience, collective experience, we have started designing the digital platforms. We call that as we are ourselves call as digital ecosystem enablers. And then again, the platform that what we built today is Csmart, a digital services enablement platform. Essentially, it's a series of products in it, and covering the entire gamut of concept to cash to care, which take care of the entire end-to-end BSS OSS stack of workflows, right? So essentially, our product now is a cloud native, and then again uses the low code, no code, right? And then again products essentially built on using the concepts of TM Forum, ODA, and open API design principles.
So a few things to chop up there. I mean, one of them, for example, we started out talking about the merger between OSS and BSS, and you guys are approaching this platform. It's all one thing.
Yes.
It's one platform. So just mention talk a little bit about what's the mindset behind that, because we come from silos, we come from organizations owning these things very distinctly. So you're not just talking about the system, but talking about also how the organization interacts with the system.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So while we design the system, actually, so what we have also seen is the line between the BSS and OSS are actually kind of merging. And then customers, what they're looking at is basically an end-to-end digital platform for them to be able to seamlessly work between these workflows and try to really achieve the business objects that what they want to achieve. Not only that, if you see the whole demand for really, the competitive environment, and then again reducing the overall go-to-market cycles, right? And then again putting the business onto the kickoff, and then again running the business immediately. So the pressure comes a uniform or universalized platform which can addresses both BSS and OSS in one place, right? That is what we were trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. And so let's talk a little bit about the Csmart platform. Give us maybe a specific example, even if you get a little bit into the weeds of some of the change that needs to happen. Because we talk in the industry a lot about change needs to happen. We talk about it in big terms, but it really comes down to a lot of small tactical actions that ultimately make the whole thing happen.
Absolutely.
So
I think
give us a little bit of an
question.
example. Yeah.
See, as I see, what exactly this digitalization means, right? I think it is a complete autonomous automation to really run the platform and the end-to-end business operations seamlessly, right, without any manual intervention. So that happens only if you have a low-code, no-code platform, right? And also, it has to really support some of these ODA and also the open API kind of principles. Mainly, the reason is actually, that can really enable to really go to the level of customer management or giving a better customer experience and Also a 360-degree view of the customer, because it is all about running with the microservices architecture. So you can really be able to go to multiple products underneath it to really fetch the required information and then again showcase it to the customer, such that it gives them a better enhanced experience to see the entire view of their activities, usage behaviors, and then again patterns, and then based on that there are some recommended promotions and the rewards, right? This is what actually, so our platform is trying to address Csmart right now. Today we have a comprehensive customer 360-degree view for the agent to really help serve the end user in a special way. At the same time, the end user knows exactly how I am being treated for being part of this service providers enrollment, right? So this is actually a mutual benefit that we are trying to give with our platform.
So some of these concepts, right, have been around in the industry for a while. Customer centricity,
Yes.
having a 360-degree view, and we've seen those things evolve. And it came from a pretty rudimentary place and has become more sophisticated over time.
Right.
And so, I wouldn't be doing my job or filling out my buzzword bingo card if I didn't ask you about where Gen AI plays a role.
Exactly.
You mentioned beforehand that there has to be a role here for it.
Of course, definitely. I think so. We have extensively used our Gen AI. We call that a Csmart Visor. Essentially, I think it is in place for multiple products. One is to really improve the customer experience.
Yeah, sure.
And also optimize the operations. We call that as an observability. That means, I think, in the plants, how it runs, and then again, the people who are actually running the products and then maintaining them on a day-to-day basis, that the whole management cycle actually has been completely simplified now by putting this Csmart Visor inside, and then it gives like a lot of feedback, proactively solving problems. We call that as self-healing applications.
This could be a myth, it could be a rumor, it could be gossip, but I get the sense walking around that people in our industry, in telecom industry, get this sense that other industries are much, much further ahead in their overall digital transformation than they are. In my own experience, I think maybe there's an argument for that on the very, very front end of the experience with things like e-commerce. But when I've gotten into some of the supply chain in telecom, for example, a lot of the equipment suppliers, distributors, and you get into like the greater reseller market, which is really outside of telecom, the more greater ICT, very few of those companies are really that sophisticated in terms of the way that they've transformed their ordering, billing,
Right.
Product catalogs, any of those kinds of things. So you guys are working both with telecoms and with other types of enterprises. What's your view of this, and where do you see this going in the next few years, especially with your platform?
In my opinion, I see that, okay, so there is no difference between the telecom and then again enterprises. The lines are blurring. Basically, I think it's a thin line. And then again, everybody I see is actually becoming a digital company, right? And then digital enterprise, I would say. So in our Csmart, from our product, so we have a unique product called Digital Marketplace. So which actually gives the service providers to really become a digital company. Not only that, but go beyond the connectivity by bringing other partners, and then again being able to really enable them to offer heterogeneous digital services outside the gamut of the connectivity, right? And then that really makes them enabled to really offer any kind of a service and then compete with any other enterprise, like what you said, right? It is actually now they are competing in the greater marketplace because they have a huge subscriber base, and then until now they were only just offering the connectivity. But now all of a sudden, I think with this marketplace kind of a partner engagement system, that if we can really provide something like that, they can really bring in a lot more digital services, and this is a win-win situation for both service provider and also the customer, because the customer actually gets all the digital services under one umbrella. And the digital service provider now can really make more revenues out of that.
It occurred to me too, one of the things that's been mentioned at the show was talking about the 5G market and its need to get over the hump, and that it really needs to be thought of as a solution market, not as the sort of cookie cutter mass market that we may have traditionally had. And so it strikes me as part of what you're talking about in the digitalization of that whole ecosystem. Part of the purpose of that is to make it a lot easier to build solutions, sophisticated enterprise solutions, a lot faster than we can today. Usually now it'll take months, multiple orders, a lot of different people signing contracts around the table. That needs to be digitalized.
That is a beautiful question, actually. So, in fact, the service providers not to be able to really focus on how they really manage this whole complexity of the partner ecosystem. We have a unique product called Digital Marketplace, which actually does that job for them. Basically, I think it actually people doesn't have to really worry about how their settlements are done, how the partners are managed or onboarded for really bringing their services onto the ecosystem. So it is a continuous process of managing and also efficiently optimizing the services, the whole ecosystem around it, right? I think to be able to make that additional enablement to generate more revenues out of this.
Yeah, and so, I mean, obviously these can be, complicated, sophisticated, challenging discussions that get deep into people's business.
Absolutely.
And you're going around the world talking to people about this all the time. So,
Exactly.
if when you meet with prospects and customers and there's that one thing you want to make sure they remember that they take away from the meeting, what's that?
See, we are seriously committed with all of our experience. We are bringing the products completely to really support them to become a tech company, right? And along with that, we also are committed to really put all of our knowledge in building the products to, bring in this ODA concepts, microservices, and then low code, no code, to make it easy for them to really manage these products and, really focus on their business and then achieve the results beyond the connectivity.
Yeah.
So our aim is to really give the telecom service providers today to really go beyond the connectivity and then be able to really sell multiple heterogeneous services and bring in a lot more enterprises into this. And then again, using this 5G evolution that is happening right now, and also the IoT business, there is a lot to do here. I think a lot more enterprises can really come on board.
Yeah.
And then again, give that kind of a lift to the service providers to really go out of bounds.
And I think, going back to the myth or gossip thing, if we make the assumption that all these other industries have already gone through their digital transformation, I mean, you're almost shutting off the future in that way. And I recognize that this is going to continually evolve
Yes.
again and again over time. These industries are evolving together. We can't look at it separately, and you're right in the middle of it and making it happen. So
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you coming out and chatting with us about it today.
Thank you so much for having me
Absolutely.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you.